Alright. I should have put share at the end of this, at the end of the title for this video, but I'm gonna do a quick video. I've been meaning to try to do one in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening, like how we was doing when we first started doing some of the other protests earlier this summer. But as it stands, I got some time to do one tonight. So as you can see, it's snowing outside. We on night 22. We on night 23, and it'll be day 22 of being outside of City Hall, occupying the space. We got, again, for anybody who's unaware, we outside of City Hall. We have multiple canopies. We got 2 canopies up. We've been sleeping, eating, living outside of City Hall since Tyrus Jones was shot by the Rockford Police Department officer Dominic McNeese. Tyrus Jones was unarmed. He was shot in his back. He posed no imminent threat. He was running away from this officer when he was shot. So we have been outside of City Hall since that incident took place. For anybody who's unaware, before I go into talking about some of these other things that's going on, that is the reason that I'm outside right now. That's the reason that we done been out here in the snow, is because an unarmed black man was shot by the Rockford Police Department. It's nothing else that is pertinent to the situation. It's not pertinent, and this is something that has happened to black people throughout American history, but it's not pertinent that he ran. It's not pertinent what warrants he may have. It's not pertinent anything that he may have done in his past. The only thing that's pertinent is that he had no weapon, he posed no threat, and he was shot in his back by a police officer. So that is the backdrop to all the things that I'm about to say and all the things that's going on around these protests in Rockford right now. So again, this is City Hall right there behind me. We've been out here for 22 days, 23 nights. I believe it's snowing right now. We got people you can't see from here, but there's people that's in canopies sleep, people in their cars sleep, people on the pavement sleep. We've been sleeping out here, staying out here 24/7. Unhoused individuals who are in the area, we fed them. Unhoused individuals who are in the area who need shelter, we've given shelter to them. Before the police department came and made us take it down, unhoused individuals who may have needed clothing, we was providing clothing to them. So those is all the things that we doing on the side of being out here at City Hall. Now, let me speak to the press conference that we holding tomorrow. First, let me say that I've reached out to all the news outlets in the city, WIFR, WTVO, Rockford Register-Star, and WREX. I've reached out to multiple independent media outlets, independent filmographers or videographers or photographers in the city, and have let them know that tomorrow at 4 p.m. outside of City Hall, where we have the Occupy Rockford going on, I will be May 30th Alliance will be holding a press conference. In this press conference, we will be speaking on the upcoming campaign that we have coming up. I'm not going to get into all of the nuances and the minutia of the things I'm going to be speaking on tomorrow, because that's what tomorrow's for. But again, I wanted to, I guess if nothing else, show the dedication and the determination of the movement at this moment, and the fact that we was out here for the first snowfall of the season, which was last week. We've been out here through rain, we've been out here through snow, we've been out there through police officers arresting people, we've been out here through police officers using intimidation on people. and we will continue to be out here. And I thought that it's important. I don't think at the last snowfall, we wasn't able to capture no videos, or at least I wasn't personally able to capture any videos or any pictures of the snowfall happening and coming down. But, it was pointed out to me that it'd be a good idea to capture this, and I agree. I think it's important for people to see the inclement weather will not be a deterrent. When we was doing protests earlier in the year, I'm sure that the police department, the Winnebago County Sheriff's Department, state's attorney's office, elected officials, racists, all of these people, even liberals, all of these people felt like this was something that was going to come and go eventually, whether it was because of inclement weather, whether it was because people moved on to some new thing. They figured that this would be something that by the time October came would be over with, and that they could be back to using the police department to exploit, oppress, and violate people's rights quietly again, and it wouldn't be something that would be getting pointed out and brought into the forefront. On the contrary, the inclement weather has done nothing but emboldened us in our struggle. People being falsely arrested has done nothing but emboldened us in our struggle. Time passing has done nothing but embolden us in our struggle. We have not regressed in our tactics and in our dedication to the struggle. We have only progressed in our tactics and our dedication to the struggle. It's nobody that's less motivated now than they was 6 months ago. It's nobody that's less dedicated, nobody that's less knowledgeable, nobody that's less educated or less informed now than they were 6 months ago. And I want to, I think it's important as regularly as possible that I can do these lives. I think speaking about these protests and demonstrations as they come up here is just as important as the protest and the demonstration itself, which is something that I learned from our last go round. One of the things that unfortunately was one of the biggest impediments I feel towards the end of the city market demonstrations and protests that we were doing was that I didn't have my phone anymore to do lives. My phone got confiscated. My phone got stolen by the Rockford Police Department. And because of my personal beliefs, I chose to get some nice new phone, because of someone else's sacrifice to the struggle. I've had this iPad that I've been using to communicate, and it's reminding me of what the importance was of being able to directly just communicate with people. Don't matter how many people watching it at the initial watch or on the initial live. It don't matter if it's 10, don't matter if it's 5, don't matter if it's 50, don't matter if it's 100. The point is to try to document all of these things as often as possible for the people who don't understand what's going on or don't know what's going on, to inform them. For the people who don't know why we protesting or demonstrating, to do these videos to try to update them. So again, Tyrus Jones is an unarmed black man. Tyrus Jones is past. Tyrus Jones is future. Tyrus Jones is someone else's opinion of Tyrus Jones's character are all things that are relevant to the fact that Tyrus Jones was shot in his back while he was unarmed by a Rockford police officer, and that the Rockford police officer has not been held accountable, that the city of Rockford has had no transparency with the family or with the community, and that the mayor, which again, this is why we at City Hall, that the mayor has not even had a formal press conference to give a statement and to take questions from the reporters about Tyrus Jones being shot and about the ongoing culture of excessive force that has been displayed by the police department in his city. We are, as a country, as a nation, and honestly, globally, this is happening in Africa with SARS, but we are in a place where police brutality and police harassment and police violence and police excessive force has a magnifying glass to it, and the cities in which these things are perpetuated have a magnifying glass on them. And I'll tell you something right now, Lori Lightfoot in Chicago cannot get away with an unarmed black man being shot in the back by the Chicago Police Department and her not making a press conference or making no public statement on it and answering questions. She couldn't get away with it. You watched in Kenosha, the mayor in Kenosha couldn't have gotten away with not making a formal statement and having a press conference and fielding questions. the mayor in Minneapolis, the mayor in Louisville with Breonna Taylor couldn't have got away with it. So Mayor Tom McNamara cannot get away with coming up on 4 weeks of a young black man being shot in his back, unarmed, by the Rockford Police Department, and him not making any statements about it. So that is why we are outside City Hall. Every time before he goes into work, every time he comes out of work, every time he goes on any kind of lunch break, he sees 2 canopies outside of his office. He sees people either sleeping or listening to speeches or riding or eating or doing something outside of his office, and he's reminded that the Rockford Police Department officer Dominic McNeese shot a black man in his back. And it's incumbent upon this mayor to take the bulls by the horns and address this issue to make sure that it is not more Tyrus Jones and more Dominic McNeese's taking place in our city. And if he is not going to have the gumption to do that, if he's not going to have the fortitude to do that, then what he can look forward to is this city becoming the epicenter of protest in Illinois. What he can look forward to is this city becoming the catalyst of a movement in Illinois and in this nation furthermore, nationwide. It is a lot of people who, because they don't understand history, because they don't understand the determination of the people that's involved in this situation, and because they don't understand the gravity of this situation, don't realize that they are in a turning point in history, in the history of this city, history of this state, and the history of this nation. And at this turning point, people will no longer allow their rights to be trampled over by police officers. People will no longer allow their rights to be trampled over by elected officials. People will no longer be ignored by people who are in power. The people have power. The power of the people is greater than the power of the politicians. The power of the people is greater than the power of these power structures, such as the police department and the state's attorneys. All of these people are servants to us. And we are at the point now where those servants, instead of being for the better, have been for the worse. Those servants have led to oppression and exploitation and criminalization of communities, and criminalizations of ethnicities, and criminalizations of neighborhoods, and criminalizations of skin colors, and criminalizations of people's beliefs. And so it's incumbent upon all of us to each play our part in this struggle. And I'm asking for people tomorrow, I say all that to say, I'm asking that for people tomorrow, that the part you play in the struggle is to come out to City Hall at 4 p.m. Come out to City Hall and be a part of this press conference at 4 o'clock p.m. The part we asking you to play in the struggle is if you on your phone watching this, on your tablet watching this, on your computer, your laptop watching this, share this video, share this link. Go to the May 30th Alliance page and share the event. Go to my page and share the event. That's the part of the struggle tomorrow that we asking for you to partake in. That's one of the things I'm going to do in these videos from now on too, is ask you to partake of some piece of the struggle with me. I'm not asking for everybody to quit their job like how I quit my job. I'm not asking for everybody to sacrifice their body in the manner I sacrifice my body, or to sacrifice their freedom in the manner I sacrifice my freedom, or to sacrifice their time in the manner I sacrifice my time. I can sacrifice those things. I'm going to ask you to sacrifice something different. So sacrifice something on your, sacrifice the algorithm on your news feed by sharing this link. Sacrifice your time tomorrow at 4 o'clock p.m. by being outside of City Hall to put another body out there to let the elected officials and the police department and the state's attorney in this city know that the community is done dealing with oppression, exploitation, and suppression, and harassment, and violation of rights. Again, the part I'm asking you to play in the struggle, because we all have to play a part in the struggle, and we all do play a part in the struggle. Either we play a part in the struggle actively by helping with the resistance, helping with the people who are trying to resist oppression, helping with the people who are trying to resist exploitation, or we play a part in the struggle, in the manner by being neutral. Being neutral and being silent, that's playing a part in the struggle. Not sharing a video link is playing a part in the struggle. Not showing up at demonstrations is playing a part in the struggle. Being neutral is also playing a part in the struggle. It allows for the status quo to continue to be exactly where it's at. So I'm asking you to be active in the struggle, to take an active part in the struggle. The active parts you can take in the struggle starting tomorrow. The active parts you can take in the struggle starting tomorrow is by being out at 4 o'clock p.m. at City Hall. The active part you can take in the struggle tonight is by sharing this video link and by sharing the event at City Hall. Again, when I'm doing these, I don't really look at the comments, so I'm not really seeing comments. I'm in a place where if people want to have conversations or dialogues with me, I'm at City Hall 24/7, basically. This is the Get Out. Again, what this is a PSA to the struggle. That's what these lives that I'm doing is. They PSAs to the struggles, not really Q&As. They PSAs to the struggle, PSAs to the resistance, to the people that's in this fight truly in the same manner in which I'm in this fight. That's in this fight and in this struggle to educate themselves, to educate others. That's in this struggle and in this fight to inform themselves and to inform others. That's in this fight and in this struggle to liberate themselves and to liberate others. And that looked different than just going in and clicking a poll and punching a poll once every year or once every 4 years. It looked different than that. And that's one of the things I hope people understand moving forward with the demonstrations that we have moving forward, with some of the things that we done in the past. I implore people to go listen to Dr. King. I implore people to go listen to Malcolm X, go listen to Stokely Carmichael, go listen to H. Rap Brown, go listen to Cornel West, go listen to Angela Davis. Go listen to speeches from some of these people. Listen to speeches from civil rights activists from the 60s and from the 70s. Listen to speeches from Eldridge Cleaver. Listen to speeches from Huey Newton. Listen to speeches from Bobby Seale. So you can understand the ideology that we trying to build in this city. So you can understand the political education that we trying to build in this city. So you can understand the type of revolution that we trying to manifest in the city. Go and do those things. That's the homework for the struggle. I spoke about sharing this link and sharing the event and coming out at 4 o'clock tomorrow as being your contribution to the struggle. Part of your contribution to the struggle is to be more informed about the struggle, to be more informed about all of these things that we're speaking about, to understand the reason people was willing to make these sacrifices, sacrificing their freedom. So that's what I need people to do. Like I said, I'm 4 o'clock tomorrow outside of City Hall. Share the event page, share the link, please. Share this video, please. If you're just watching this video at the end, please go back and watch it from the beginning. Please encourage other people to watch this video. Please encourage other people to get informed about Tyrus Jones, who was shot by the Rockford Police Department while he was unarmed in his back. Get informed about City Market, where people were unlawfully arrested, where people were assaulted for trying to do nothing but to use their rights to assemble. Find out about May 30th and do research about May 30th when people was assaulted and unlawfully arrested by trying to use their rights to assemble. Occupy Rockford, May 30th Alliance, we outside. Press conference tomorrow at 4. Share this.